Hey guys, Tychondrous here doing another toy review, and this time it's for another Masters of the Universe Classics 6-inch figure from Mattel, and this time it's for Blast Attack. Now, I'll just go through his box quickly. It's the standard Masters of the Universe packaging. There should be Masters of the Universe Classics logo up there, but it's fallen inside the box. You have Snake Man logo on the front of the box because he's part of the Snake Men. And the name of the figure, which is Blast Attack, Evil Blast Apart Robot. And then you have the standard Castle Grayskull style block print work on the box, and then the lightning coming down the side of the blister card. Flipping around to the back of the box, you have other figures that are available, which are King Hiss. Now, the King Hiss, if I just move my camera, King Hiss that they show here is actually the Battle Armor King Hiss, and that was only available in a 2-pack with He-Man, Snake Armor He-Man, and then you have Ratlore, Cobra Khan, Snakeface, who is really cool. I have that figure, Blast Attack himself, the Unnamed One, and Tongue Lasher. The Unnamed One is there because I think, if I remember correctly, in the comics or in the storyline that they were doing, Unnamed One was actually the leader of the Snake Man. He was the guy that basically put them on their path of destruction of all the other kind of places that they were attacking and stuff like that. So, for Blast Attack, you have Blast Attack, Evil Blast Apart Robot. Real name, programmed robot serial number 1710. Blast Attack was originally brought to Eternia in a spell of light by Skeletor to boost his ranks before a second ultimate battleground, but the android was quickly stolen by the Snake Man and reprogrammed to act as a mercenary in the army of King Hiss. Literally a walking, talking time bomb, Blast Attack's body is comprised of a series of microscopic nanites which can reform after detonation, allowing him to blast apart over and over again in an explosive attack against enemies. Although created with some semblance of artificial intelligence, this evil programming often overrides his own commitment to self-preservation. Blast Attack is a robotic muscle man with an extremely short fuse. He loves to surprise enemies with his sudden blast apart power. Ugh, excuse me. And then on the bottom you just got the legalese stuff and the copyright information, and then you have MattyCollector.com in the corner. Now, Matty Collector is no longer active. It's now, I think it's Mattel Store or something along those lines, because over the course of last year, 2016, they moved, Mattel gave the license for doing the classics figures over to Super 7, which are going to continue on the line. So, onto the figure at hand. Here he is. He's a really cool sculpted figure. Now, I never had the original one, but I know the gimmick with the original one is you can see on the sculpting there's this line that goes all the way down the body, and it's all the way on the back. And what would happen is you have one of these, which is a little plunger type thing. They actually turned it into a weapon for Blast Attack, which is really cool. It's actually a little weapon, but this piece would move in. So you'd click it into this section on the back of the figure on the original, press this plunger, and it would just blast the figure into two halves. Obviously, the Four Horsemen, when they were designing this for Mattel, designed it without the attack feature because nearly all, there's a few exceptions, but practically every Masters of the Universe Classics figure, it was done without the gimmicks involved. The only exception really I can think of offhand is the Laser Light Skeletor and Laser Swords He-Man. They kept the LED light system, but they had they have to reduce their articulation on those figures. Fortunately, I don't have those ones, but if I do put them up, I'll review them as well. So, the other weapon that Blast Attack comes with is this weird poleaxe arm. Now, I'm assuming it's based on the original weapon the original figure came with. As I said, I don't have that one, but it's done in a kind of a reddish, which is a bit kind of standard red plastic. But what's kind of cool is they actually gave the blade of the axe a slightly metallic glossy red to give it like a metallic shine to it. And there's a few spots, like the bolts here and a few of the screws and stuff like that, that have an actual gloss red to them. I'm not sure if you can see them on the camera, but they have a glossy red to them, so it's a slight two-tone colour scheme. As I mentioned, he comes with this whip, which is a really rubbery, bendy plastic, or really rubbery, bendy material, and you can kind of coil it up, and you can see the tip. As I said, the tip on the original one would extend, these would click in, and this piece would extend out and cause them to explode when you press down on the plunger. There was another figure that I had a long time ago, well, it's not really a figure, but a playset. I had a very similar gimmick, which was the old Brave Star base. I think it was the bank. It was supposed to be like the version of the bank, and in order to steal the Carium, which was the whatchamacallit, the currency, I think it was basically their version of gold in the Old West. Basically what you would do is you'd have one of those plunger things, you'd plug it into the back of the actual safe in the bank, and when you pressed it, the door would blow off the hinges to simulate them blowing the door with dynamite off, which was a really cool gimmick. But onto the figure itself. Here is Blast Attack in all his glory. I really like how they designed him. He has this all metallic mechanical look to him. He is a reuse of parts. His arms are reused from Trapjaw yet again. I think his hands aren't reused from Trapjaw. I think his hands, or they might actually, I think they might be reused from Trapjaw. They might actually be reused from the Skeletor as well, the New Adventure Skeletor, but I think it's more Trapjaw. And then he has new legs all the way down from the hips down, and then he has a waist. Now, the way his armour is done, it's done so that you can't remove it. You can see kind of slight sculpting in underneath, but I can't find a way where the armour is actually removable. It might be, I think it's actually glued on. But I think originally when they were doing the concept for him, you were going to be able to take off the gold armour, but I think they changed that last minute. And then he has this cool black helmet on with these bright glossy red visor type thing. It looks like this kind of goes down over his head and then he explodes, but it's just a solid piece. And then he has some matte black with gloss black paint apps on his head, which is really cool. And he has this kind of more organic looking face than a mechanical face. I love how he has this like big dial and stuff on him and things like that. So for articulation, he has a standard Masters of the Universe articulation, so his arms can go out that much. They have a swivel, a ball hinge kind of. He has an upper bicep swivel. He has single hinged elbows, rotation at the wrist, down back by the actual cuff of the glove instead of at the wrist itself. He has the waist. He does have an ab crunch, but because of the way the armour is done, it does hinder it a slight bit. It is a slightly gummy, or not gummy, but rubbery plastic, but it does get hindered. He does have leg splits, so he can do splits that much. He can go forward and back that much. He can actually go back quite a bit. His leg does kind of go out to the side when you're going back. He can go forward that much. Single hinged knees. He can get just slightly less than 90-degree bend because of the way the sculpt is. These kind of pipes kind of bounce off each other. And then he has a swivel just under the boot cut, and then he has hinged feet, ankles that can go forward and backward. They're quite tight on my figure, which is quite good. So sometimes they get a bit loose, but they're actually quite good. So all in all, he's a fantastic figure. I really like his design. He's one that I really wanted to pick up. As I said, I never had the original, but I always figured him, whenever you see the original toy, I always thought he was a Skeletor henchman, kind of like Trapjaw and Beastman and the like, but he's actually a Snake Man. So he's a bit of an obscure character for the Snake Man, because he obviously doesn't look like a snake, but he is a pretty cool figure. Do recommend picking him up if you can get a hold of him. I know since Mattel Matty Collector is now gone, that you can get few figures on their website, I think on the Mattel Toy Store website. I think it's a Mattel store, I think is it called. But you can also get it on Mattel's eBay store as well. They have a few figures from Masters of the Universe line still in stock, and basically most secondary marketplaces might have them as well, so do recommend picking them up. As I said in my videos, if you like the videos, feel free to hit like, feel free to subscribe, and feel free to comment in the comment section below. So there you go guys, just a quick video review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Blast Attack. Cheers!